role players having to step up. Tristan Thompson did just that. How was he able to do that?
Well, no question. I think he set the tone, and it's his activity. I mean, that's why the Cavaliers paid Tristan Thompson during the summer. He's a possession guy. He had 5 rebounds in the opening quarter. He had 11 in the previous 3 games combined. 3 of those rebounds in that first quarter came on the offensive glass. This is what the Cavaliers thrive on, and they get a jump start, a kick start from Tristan Thompson and the possessions that he can provide, especially on the offensive boards. They didn't get enough of that from the entire team in the first 3 games, but man, Thompson was the guy who set the tone in that opening quarter. An opening quarter, Jay, in which they scored 49 points and rolled. They had 86 by the end of the first half. So at home, the Cavs got that energy from Thompson. It's precisely what they needed as they got off to a good start in Game 4.
You told me that if they got out of the gate quickly, good things would happen. They did, and they did. So what do they need to do Monday night to get the win in Oakland?
Jay, I still think it's the supporting cast. I mean, you look at that starting 5. J.R. Smith for the second straight game hit 5 triples. That's what he does. Kevin Love, he was able to stretch the floor. He hit 6 threes. His solid finals continue. And then you look at some of the defense of the guys off the bench. I thought the 2 unsung heroes in that ball game were Richard Jefferson and Iman Shumpert. One was a plus 12 on the floor. One was a plus 11. Cavs have not gotten those kind of plus-minus numbers out of anybody in terms of the rotation players in this series through the first 3 games. So they did what they wanted to do. They limited their turnovers, which was, that's key against Golden State because this team is so proficient at getting up and down the floor. Only 9 fast break points for the Warriors in Game 4, a huge reason why the Cavaliers sent this series back to the West Coast.
You're flying on the plane with the Cavs. You guys leave in a few hours. What will that ride be like?
I think it's going to be businesslike, as usual. It was a businesslike approach by the Cavaliers down 3-0 coming into Game 4. They knew they could get the job done, and that's what they did. I'll tell you what, Jay, we've talked about this previously. On that flight out to the West Coast last season when the Cavs were down 3-1, armed with the knowledge that 32 teams before them had tried to come back in the finals from a 3-1 hole and all 32 had failed, there was a quiet, authentic confidence on that plane. They had just lost a winnable Game 4 in their own building, but they went out there, they had the confidence, and I think it exudes first and foremost from their head coach in Tyronn Lue, and the rest of the guys followed suit. It wasn't a rah-rah thing. It wasn't artificial. It was authentic going out there. They weren't going for a funeral last year as they headed out for Game 5. We know what happened. They won Game 5, came back home, did what they needed to do, and were able to pull it off, winning the final 3 games, 5, 6, and 7 for the first time in NBA history. So I expect nothing different. I expect a workmanlike atmosphere on that plane, and off we go. I think that the mindset right now is let's just win Game 5, see if we can extend this one more thing.
All right, be honest. Were your bags packed before the game last night?
Interesting question. No, the answer is no, they weren't packed. I should have said, I knew they had it all the way, Jay. They've been packed for 2 days. But no, I'm a last-second guy, so it wouldn't have mattered if the series was 3-0. Wouldn't have mattered if it was 2-1. I pack about 45 minutes before